Hello? Hi, it's me, CryptoClick. Yeah, I notice you're trading on crypto exchanges, but without any benefits at all? That's madness. You know, I've been made an affiliate partner with pretty much every exchange out there, so if you want to get some benefits, you might as well set up exchanges with the links that I've got in the video description or in my Telegram and Discord. You can get welcome bonuses for signing up, or even better, up to 20% off all your trading fees for life. Yeah, I know, what a treat. So next time you fancy setting up an exchange, use some of the links that I've got in my video description, because otherwise you're mugging yourself off. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're going to talk about XRP, understanding the chart on the long-term time frame to capitalize on what could be the next big move, which I might as well let you all know now, a bit of a spoiler alert, not going to be anytime soon. I know everybody's waiting for the SEC lawsuit to end, and then after that, XRP, it goes to, I don't know, $500 or whatever it is that people tout it to be. But it's not the case. It will move, no doubt, but it will move within the picture of a descending triangle, which is what we're in at the moment. So the one thing I like about XRP is that it's old. 2014 came into existence, and what we notice is that there's some kind of rhythm to the time cycle that it's stuck within. It's got a 4-year cycle of its own. Obviously, there's no halving. There's none of that. So Bitcoin's got its halving. There's a 4-year cycle within Bitcoin. We can talk about that a little bit. But the difference is that Bitcoin goes up more or less for 3 years in a bull market, and then down for 1 year in a bear market, largely speaking. Whereas XRP does the opposite. It more or less consolidates from a big blow off top for about 3 years and then spends like 1 year or less going up. So we've got peak to peak. So we'll measure these time cycles peak to peak. So peak to peak, we've got one peak to the next peak, 127 days. So this peak to this peak is 1,200 days. So I'm mixing my numbers up. So 1,200 days and 1,100 days, give or take. So we'll go for an average of about 1,100 days from here, from this peak to what might be the next peak. And the next peak, 1,000, we'll just go roughly there. The next peak is May 2024. That's where we'd expect the next peak. So an uptrend will have already started. It'll be probably quite aggressive, and it'll be reaching a new peak. Is that a new all-time high? I don't know, but is it its next major run? Probably. Probably yes. As far as time is concerned, they're usually quite there. They have been quite tight on these 3 peaks. It's pretty decent. So let's think about low to low. So we've got a double bottom here, effectively a low. We'll mark it with this major low here. It's about 1,155 days. So if we think about this low to where the next low might be, so 1,150 days, it's going to take us to between May and June 2023. So next year is when the low will be printed. Again, XRP works differently to everything else. It's kind of unlike the rest of the coins within the market that have their own thing going on. Most of them just trend with Bitcoin, and XRP will do that to an extent, but it has its own time cycle. So don't expect anything amazing to happen as far as sort of major highs or major lows to be printed for probably another year, right? So on top of that, we've got standard chart formations going on. Descending triangle, breakout, up to the moon. We've got one over here, so a consolidation, breakout, up to the moon. The moon is, obviously not as, it was closer than it was before. So, but it's still the same. We're talking different ways of chart analysis. We've done time. Time seems to match. We're doing chart structure now, which appears to match as well. So if we think about that, we've also got another descending triangle in the formation at the moment, or let's just give it the consolidation formation rather than putting in supports. We can think about supports in a minute. So if we're thinking about this, then yeah, we wouldn't be looking to break out until, was it May 2023 was the new all-time high, wasn't it, I believe? No, 2024 was the new all-time high. So we're looking for a new all-time high to form roughly around here, more or less. This will be the next peak. So let's be generous. We'll say it's going to go up to $6. That's where we're going to go. And the next low to be formed around May 2023. So this is where the next low will be formed. So let's think about descending triangle formations. So we could put a little support in around here, saying that this is where our descending triangle could form in this portion of the cycle. So this next descending triangle that we're in right now, we could be looking for a support around about 21 cents. That could be the lowest form, the lowest it could go. Roughly speaking, lower 20s. Previously, if we measure the absolute bottom of this to there, which probably is unfair, but it did do it, but we'll probably more likely to go for this level around here, which is about 16 cents. That was our previous lows. And down here we'll slice through the price action. We'll more or less give it this, which is about 0.4%. So you can see that these two got quite close to the end of the apex. Big move up. This one got right to the end of the apex and crept out, moved up. This one could work differently. This one we could go down here, bounce around here, and we find ourselves at our lows around this level here where we start to move up and break out. And it's the breakout of this descending triangle formation, or the resistance of the triangle, or just let's just say the descending resistance, that then starts to catapult us up massively. So if you were looking to hodl or buy XRP at low prices, a decent area to wait for would be, what, 20 cents, 21, 22, the lower 20s, right? Is what it suggests, roughly speaking, just based on this monthly analysis, which again is pretty rough because it is monthly candle bodies, but roughly speaking, we would be expecting XRP to at some point hit the lower 20s, which isn't too far from where we are right now. It might seem ridiculous, but it's not too bad. It's another 30% down. That's no big deal. In fact, that seems pretty achievable considering the overall environment that we're in right now. So you could think about picking some up at those low levels and waiting it out for this to break out of this triangle formation. Otherwise, you could do the timing the market, which is wait for the breakout and a retest. Once a breakout and a retest has taken place, or just a breakout in general, then at that stage we could be thinking about, all right, now it's time for a bit of futures trading. This is where XRP moves up into the next level, where we go to reach our new all-time high or just our new peak based on the time cycle. So it's just a very rough and ready way to try and explain how XRP isn't as crap as everybody thinks it is. It is if you're using the time in the market strategy, but if you're going to employ timing the market, then there is rhythm and rhymes to this chart, and it does work. And I would suggest that you pay attention to it over the next couple of years, because I'm very confident that it's going to play out in the same way. Now, for all those other people that are going to say, well, SEC lawsuit is going to catapult it to the moon, it might not. Do you know what the SEC lawsuit might do? Even if they were to win right now, it would bring it to the top of this descending triangle. That's a really decent move. You could even break the triangle and get sucked back down within it, and still hold at the top of this resistance, and from today's price you could still be up over 100%. Look, the overall breaking out of this general time cycle is concerned that's going on here, and the chart structure that's been going on since 2014, it's quite unlikely, as far as I'm concerned, as is XRP moving counter to the overall market in a big bear market as well. So yeah, SEC lawsuit can definitely catapult this up to 100% or more. It would get sucked back down within the triangle and continue with its normal cycle. So I'm not bearish on any kind of SEC failure to sue XRP, or the XRP coming out of this victorious. Yeah, of course that will cause some ripples within the market, but most likely will continue with its normal cycle, and that's fine, because that's what we want, and that's the best way to trade it. If you're looking to FOMO off the back of some kind of SEC lawsuit, I would probably make the case that the best thing to do would be, if you miss the FOMO, not that I'm suggesting in any way that people involve themselves in derivatives if they're not used to it, but probably the better state of play would be to short it once the FOMO is over, because you're most likely going to continue with this kind of chart trajectory. So if let's just say SEC won today, I mean they beat SEC today, we moved up, we even spiked above, you see us coming back down within the triangle, you would short it with an expectation that we come down to this major level of support like the lower 20s, and it's at that stage where you might think about sort of buying it back, or maybe going on some small longs. But the best thing to do is to wait it out for when we finally do break out of this in a natural, more organic way, and then we sort of meander our way up to our next peak. Like I said, there's rhythm to this chart. That's why I like it. It's really good for futures and derivatives and things like that, because there is rhythm to it. It's because it's old, it responds to moving averages and all other kinds of signals really well. Really well, because all indicators are based around price, volume and time. And outside of Bitcoin, this is one of the oldest altcoins out there. So with that in mind, indicators work more reliably on something like this, especially because it's got a repeated chart pattern and cycle involved. So it just makes it even more useful when it comes to making those leverage trades, if that's what you're into, because You know, it rockets up really hard, which is what you want. You want to see big pumps up. You can do small leverage like 2 or 3x, and you could see some massive gains on that, because XRP, when it does run, it runs really hard and fast, always surprising everybody. Oh, why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Well, the reason it's doing it is because there's rhythm to the chart. You know, it's an old coin. It responds to its previous behavior, repeating itself. It was unfortunate that we never made a new all-time high this time around, and that probably was largely to do with the SEC lawsuit that was imposed on XRP mid-cycle peaks. But outside of that, it's still performed as far as time and cycle identical to the previous one, and I would expect it to do it again. Whether it makes a new all-time high is a different story, but whether it's definitely a tradable chart with rhythm that we can capitalize on when the time's right. But as far as I'm concerned right now, the best thing to do is to leave it to do its thing. We don't need to be trading XRP right now. In fact, we've got a whole year to prepare for it, really. Forget about the SEC stuff. Whatever that does is, you know, that's nothing in comparison to the overall power of the chart itself. Right, so I'm going to leave it with you there, but thank you for watching, guys. Hope that was useful. And yeah, take it easy.